Robert Lamb is from District 9. He is this year's Yager Scholar, and he's most comfortable in his class when it comes in a state of controlled chaos. He's never been to my house, right? Students use the science journal process to create their own infographics, which is one method Lamb uses to teach research, data processing, visualization. Lamb also has collaborated with the Cinema St. Louis to bring film screenings to his school, providing real-world connections to the arts and other disciplines and showing examples of STEM professionals. Wow. Okay, come on up. Share with us what you've been doing.
I was thinking as I was sitting down there how long it's been since I've stood at a lectern. And it was 15 years ago at Bradley University in my comm class. And at that point, I was thinking, I've got a 5-minute speech to give, and I don't think there's that many words in the world. Like, I just couldn't figure out how I could talk for 5 minutes. Now I'm sitting here going, I just don't have enough time. So changing the classroom and my landscape. In order to get where I wanted to get in my class, I had to flip my class. I know a lot of people are doing that now. I found that gave me 90 more minutes a week to actually do the things I really wanted to do in my classroom. I spent a lot of time developing more open-ended labs. I'd been doing canned labs my first part of my career and didn't like it, but it's what I had, and I didn't know any better. So since then, I've gotten a lot more into PBL, both versions, project and problem. And I've gotten into POGIL, and I've spent a lot more time trying to find ways to better connect to my students. The ultimate reason I did all of that was because I realized I really wanted to push data literacy more in my classroom, and scientific data literacy. And that's actually what my NSF grant is about. When I did all of that, my students started doing more too. They took a leading role in their education. Before that, it was kind of me stand up here, like I am now, and them down there. Since then, I very rarely get up to the front and actually talk anymore, which is the way I like it. They also started creating their own content. So they now create paper slide videos and other tutorials and other things to help each other through the chemistry class. So very little of it do I actually create anymore. I just kind of refine and push to the right direction. For the most part, they create most of the content. Paper slide videos, for those of you that don't know, they just use paper. It's very simple, it's very low tech, and then they record it. And then we put those out immediately. After we check them, we put those out immediately, and they use those as their study guides. So they might do that for a worksheet. Instead of a worksheet, they might do that as a review, but it's just a better way for them to actually make the content that they all share. It also gives, an authentic audience for them, so they actually feel that there's a reason why I'm doing this, because everyone else is going to see it, and they're actually going to use it. That created a better culture. All the while, I stopped using a pretty background on my background in my screen and started using infographics there every day. So I started pushing data literacy and pushing scientific data literacy at them constantly, and this is a professional one. And I started posting them around the room, so they really couldn't get away from it. Ultimately, I think this is the best way to push to get them a better score on the ACT in the science section because, well, as everyone knows, it's not really science content, it's charts, figures, and graphs and how well you can read them. So we spend a lot of time with these. After a while, they actually create them. And that's their big research project for the whole year, is they create their own science infographic. And they're not creating it for me, they're trying to get it published on a National Science Foundation funded journal. And about 8% of them actually get through. That's after 5 to 6 revisions on every single one of them. So it's not a one shot and done, it's an entire semester project, all the while we're doing our chemistry curriculum. So these are some of the ones that have been created by my students. I'm very proud of my students. And this just happened to be one that someone was working on. And the same month she finished this, we actually had a tornado hit our school. And it hit the neighborhood, ripped apart the neighborhood. We took 3 days off just to help clean up the neighborhood as a school. And this became very pertinent, and it started to make a little bit more sense to them at that point. This was another one. And again, the students are creating these all the while, and they go through several revisions. These were published online. And that's nice for them because they can actually look at that and say, hey, not only am I published, and not only did it go to an authentic audience, but I also had the opportunity to put this on my resume, which helps them out a lot too. So I guess what I really was trying to do is find more time to do the things that I always wanted to do. And ultimately, that made me a better teacher and helped them learn more. So, thank you.
I think you can understand why he's our Yager Scholar this year. And in addition to his plaque and the check, he's going to get an additional $1,500 and a trip to the National, which is in LA, to present this project to his peers at the LA National Science Teachers Conference. So I think, again, you could see why he's our scholar this year. Wow.